Now, despite their negligible use, Bristol City Council is to get more than £500,000 of government money to install more electric car charging points. The Department of Transport is giving councils, hospitals and railway operators a total of £37 million to spend over the next 3 years on enlarging the network of charging points across the country. This, despite a Radio Bristol investigation which found for the second half of 2012 there were just 14 users of the current charging stations, which are to be found in a dozen car parks across the city. Councillor Mark Bradshaw is the Cabinet Member for Transport and joins me on the line now. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
So £500,000 coming in, split over a couple of years. Maybe heard the Transport Minister Norman Baker a little bit earlier on. Is this going to be money well spent, do you think?
Yes, it is, because what it's doing is it's future-proofing the city to a time when there'll be more affordable and wider choice in terms of electric vehicles. More businesses using electric vehicles, and this is obviously good for the city in the lead up to the European Green Capital in 2015.
So you say when it's more affordable, is it not affordable at the minute then?
Well, I think there is still a limited range of vehicles on the market, and if you're a consumer looking to shop around for a new car or a replacement car, it is still reasonably expensive. But I think that there are clear signs that major manufacturers are looking at this market. Battery technology is evolving, and there is likely to be a wider range of much more affordable vehicles in the future. And obviously for the business community as well, and we've seen this with the congestion charge in London, more vehicles moving to electric vehicles, electric vans and so on.
Yeah, and presumably this money is ring-fenced for that purpose anyway. It's money you wouldn't be getting if it wasn't for these stations, which are expensive themselves, aren't they? What, 20 grand or something for each of these?
Yeah, they're quite expensive. We've already got, as you say, I think around 10 or 12. As I say, it's investing for the future as well, and we've been quite successful over the last few years about getting government funding, working with our partners in the city region, working with Source West in particular, to put in infrastructure and make it easier for people to actually know where those charging points are.
All right, well, hang on. We'll bring in...
more accessible.
Sorry, cut in there, Mark. Stay on the line. We'll bring in Sis Macaulay, who's got an electric car, had one for 18 months, and is a very proud driver, Sis. Are you of this... just describe it. What do you call it? A Twizzle, did you?
It's called a Renault Twizy.
Twizy,
so, yeah,
yes.
that's the name. The name is quite whizzy in itself, but it's definitely in alignment with the car itself. So it's in between almost like a moped and a car. Legally it's called a quad tricycle. So
yes, from
my perspective, it's definitely I think for Bristol it'd be a good investment to actually put more stations in, because I think that's one of the things that people are skeptical about. Where will I be able to charge for driving to the city centre?
So you were one of the 14 that we found who actually use one of these stations?
Absolutely, I use it on a daily basis. I use it as a go-to-work car. So it's
So how much do you get out of a charge? It takes how long to charge it up, and how far can you go on that?
Yeah, so the charges are getting better. I think we're talking about super fast charging, which will make it even less. So my charge currently is about 3.5 hours.
Yes.
And that will give me 100 miles. So when I get to the Trenchard car park in the city centre of Bristol,
yes,
I simply plug it into an ordinary plug. There's nothing special about the plug itself. It's a standard wall plug. But one of the 14 is one of the 14 people is myself, of course, charging at the car park.
Yes. So. I mean, it must turn a few heads, this Twizzle of yours. I mean, do you find with this news that there's going to be more of them around the city? I mean, from people talking to you and sort of asking you, what on earth is that thing you drive?
Yeah.
That they're actually interested in thinking, I might go for something like this myself?
Yeah, no, to be honest, loads of people are really fascinated by it. I mean, like, you can't be shy while driving it, because you get people literally on motorcycles coming up right next to you.
Let me put the question bluntly. Yeah. Is it a bit nerdy to be driving around one of these? When you say that you turn heads, what exactly are we saying here?
I'm looking super cool.
Cool is
far from nerdy, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's going to increase over the time, especially with Bristol winning the European Green City.
Yeah.
I think, downstream, that's going to be the norm, especially with closing down the city centre for main cars on a Friday.
Yeah.
You'll be able to drive with the Twizy.
Maybe this is the answer, Mark, to the terrible congestion problems in Bristol then. We talk about affordability. Can some deals not be struck to get a lot of people into these things? And can the City Council maybe help out in that respect, do you think?
Well, I'm certainly keen to work with the manufacturers to try and find a way to make these vehicles much more affordable and to have a wider choice. It also applies to the bus manufacturers as well. Well, one of the main causes of air pollution in the city are diesel buses. So moving away from those would be great. But I would say to you that even though there's a very small number of current electric vehicle users in the city, they are already making a contribution to tackling the air quality challenges that we face. I want to see more of them. Today's announcement of over £500,000 from central government is really a vote of confidence in our future plans.
Well, you got a good spokesman in Sis here. He's super cool, and he's selling them up pretty well here for the side of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm very pleased about that.
Thanks very much indeed, Mark. So you'd recommend them, Sis, in a word?
Absolutely. They're much more affordable now. So, you know, that car I drive right now is around 6,000 brand new, and they'll be less than second hand.
You got me interested. Sis, thank you very much indeed. Happy motoring. Thanks a lot. There we are. It's 26 minutes past 8 o'clock. Let's talk briefly